A puppy farmer is defined as a high-volume breeder who breeds puppies with little or no regard for the health and welfare of the puppies or their parents. A puppy farmer's main intent is profit, and so this often leads to puppies being separated from their mothers too early, locked up in small, overcrowded cages, and regularly having to live in squalor conditions. Not to mention that 20% of these puppies, 4 times more than the average, will suffer from parvovirus, an often fatal disease which can cost up to thousands of pounds to treat.
In a puppy farming condition, you basically have lots and lots of dogs in a really small space. And once you do that, you get really high infectious diseases. So you end up with things like parvovirus, leptospirosis, diarrhea, you get high worm burdens, and all of those impact on the health of those dogs. You also get welfare issues in terms of socialisation, so they don't really know how to interact with people. And when you end up with so many dogs in one area, you may end up with fighting, you may end up with food aggression and things like that. So it's really not a great environment for them.
Puppy farming has a harmful effect on thousands of dogs across the nation. But we mustn't forget the genuine families that fall into traps set by puppy farmers, who want to give these vulnerable animals a loving home, only for this dream to be ripped away.
They said that the disease he had contracted was a disease that couldn't be tested for, but they had to rule out everything else to decide what it was. And it was a gastro bug, which was basically making him bleed from the inside. So he was just, it was like a bit like when you sweat really, but instead of, coming from the outside, it was coming from the inside. The vets that we went to were absolutely amazing. They'd done some in-house testing. There were certain things that, they didn't charge us for. He needed 24-hour care. So they gave us the option of either sending him to another vet's that would give him 24-hour care throughout the night, or B, the vet that we had, she kindly offered to take him home with her at no extra charge at all. She just charged us for the medication. They put him on antibiotics, they put him, they were tube feeding him, everything like that. We got a phone call on a Friday night. She said, come and see him. He's really perking up. I'm sure he'd like to see you. So we popped down there. We went and see him. He lifted his head. He looked at us. She said he stopped losing blood. His blood count's coming back and everything like that. She said, I'm really impressed with his improvements. She said, had he been eating tonight, she said, I'd be letting you take him home now. She said, I just need to get him to eat and then I'll be sending him home. So that night, me and my husband and my son, we went out for something to eat and we spoke about, he'll be back tomorrow before you know it and, everything like that. And then I received a phone call 7 o'clock that morning, on the Saturday morning it was, saying, how quick can you get here? And I sort of flew out of bed. I was there probably within about 20 minutes and unfortunately I had already missed him. He had passed away and there was nothing that could be done for him.
Of course, it isn't only the puppies who suffer, as the mothers and fathers are forced to breed far too often, which has a detrimental effect on their health and welfare.
A year later we got Jetson, who's lived on a puppy farm all his life. He was 7 when we got him. He was a stud on a puppy farm. He ended up with a trauma injury. He was completely blind in one eye because of that, probably due to violence, and was severely matted and malnourished when he was rescued. He does suffer with severe separation anxiety. It's got better over the years, but he will have seizures normally within 24 hours of me leaving him just for a short period of time, but so it has got better over the years and they are not as frequent now. So he's taken a lot of training as well, and he's now also done bronze, silver and gold good citizenship awards with the Kennel Club. I know the rescue centre probably know a fair bit about the puppy farm because they have rescued a lot of dogs from there, especially a lot of bitches that have run out of doing litters that are basically no good to them anymore. So they've taken a lot off of her over the years. So I know the conditions are not great. I know she just meets or met the basic standards by the RSPCA. A lot of them were poodle and poodle crosses, dogs that would need a lot of grooming, which she didn't bother with. So they all got really severely matted, and every time they rescued a poodle or a dog that needed grooming, it was in a really bad way.
On the bright side, there are fantastic groups of people out there fighting and campaigning every day to put an end to puppy farming.
Pup Aid was always a campaign to ban third-party sales. At the start it was to raise awareness and to reach people and to educate and change behaviour. So it was really a case of getting celebrities to take that message. So by I used to go to lots of dog shows being a TV vet and like fun dog shows, and they were really popular. So I thought if celebrities or high-profile personalities or politicians even were the judges, then that would generate its own publicity. So over time, we started in Brighton, and back in the day we had sort of soap stars and some MPs, right up to when we moved into London, and last year when we had people like Ricky Gervais and Brian May and people from Made in Chelsea, people from Towie, Love Island, so we and as well as people like Sue Perkins and Rachel Riley. So there was celebrities and well-known people of different demographics. So we were able to hit different groups of people with our messaging. But Pup Aid was brilliant in terms of raising awareness, but it was only once a year. So the rest of the year, it was a bit lost. So and that's why I started this campaign to change the law.
So what are the do's and don'ts of getting a puppy? Always ask to see the puppy's mother. Visit the puppy in its breeding environment. Be prepared to put on a waiting list. Make sure the puppy is at least 8 weeks old. Ask a lot of questions and consider alternatives such as getting a rescue puppy. Don't. Pick your puppy up from a neutral location. Buy a puppy from a questionable source. Be fooled by a Kennel Club pedigree certificate. Use selling sites such as Gumtree, or purchase a puppy on impulse. Are you looking to get a dog? Here's some advice.
Google the number of the seller, because sometimes if they're a dealer or they're a bit dodgy, there'll be pages and pages on Google of different litters being sold in the past.
I will say rescue first.
You want to see them multiple times, make sure that they're interacting properly. So if you answer an advert that says, I'll meet you at a petrol station, or there's an excuse as to why you can't see the mother, just walk away.
Just see how much the owners know about dogs. Don't make the same mistakes so many of us make.
For more information, please visit www.thekennelclub.org.uk/our resources/kennel club campaigns/puppy farming.